Let me tell you, what we're about to discuss was not on my 2025 bingo card. Like, I predicted a lot of shit, but this one was not it. Um, we need to address the elephant in the room, and the elephant being in the paranormal community, let me be very clear. The elephant being Matt Rife purchasing the Warrens' home. Um, for those who have followed me for a long time, y'all know I'm not a fan of the Warrens. Y'all know I've done my research on the Warrens. If you don't know who the Warrens are, um, the Conjuring House, need I say less? But there's a lot of negativity attached to those people, and as a medium and like haunted objects collector, I I find this to be insane. So we're going to do a honey break, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to explain to you why I think all of this is absolutely bonkers. Um, Paranormal experience or not, my biggest concern is literally Matt Rife being involved in all of this. I don't know who the other person is. I have not done my research on him. Um, but I have done my research on Matt Rife, and I have done plenty of research on the Warrens. So I want to talk about that. Um, so yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I put on my glasses so you know I'm serious. Let me start with this isn't about canceling Matt Rife or really policing anyone's beliefs about the paranormal. For me, this is more about ethics, history, and responsibility. And it's about that stuff in a field that already struggles with credibility. So let's talk about why purchasing the Warren home really isn't just tone deaf, but like disrespectful as shit to the people who are affected by the legacy Ed and Lorraine left. Like, let's be real. They. Hi, hello. That wasn't the point. Let's be real. Like, they didn't leave behind the greatest legacy. I hate to say it, but it's true. Um, so, first and foremost, let's get into the Warren family, particularly like Judy and their son in law Tony. They've repeatedly asked people to stop monetizing the Warren name and their stories. So they've already expressed pretty much what's been spun into the movies and the books is super embellished and fabricated from exploiting the name for profit. So the stories that we're seeing and we're hearing, those aren't even true. And it's annoying as shit. So to watch a celebrity come in, swoop in, buy the house, not even as a private residence for himself, but essentially to create a public fascination and probably create content from it, it's basically a slap in the face to the Warrens. I don't even like them, and it's a slap in the face to them. It's insane. Yeah. Um, but we'll get into that. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to take a honey break real quick because I am very passionate about this, and I get a little loud when I'm passionate. So I don't want to do that. We're gonna move side. We're gonna bring it all in, and we're just gonna keep moving forward. Um, so the Warrens really weren't who people think they were. Let's be real. Let's talk about them real quick. their reputation essentially was built off of sensationalism. It wasn't based off of science. It wasn't based off of proof. It wasn't based off of truth. And a lot of their cases, like the Amityville Horror, Einfeld Poltergeist, Annabelle, all three of those, the three biggest cases, have been discredited by other paranormal investigators and eyewitnesses and people who were actually there. So the fact that they were repeatedly accused of pressuring families into agreeing to exaggerating those claims for the sake of publishing deals and media attention, like, it's insane. Multiple people even came forward saying that the Warrens misrepresented their trauma for fame. And to me, that's not investigating. That's not telling the truth. That's exploiting somebody's trauma. I don't agree with it. Not a fan of it. They could have done better. Like, they really could have done better. But a lot of it was Ed. So we can't ignore that elephant in the room. Ed Warren had a long-term inappropriate relationship with a minor. It started at the age of 15. She was allegedly made to live in their home under Lorraine's supervision, which really bothers me. And it's not even speculation. There are court documents of this, there's investigation reports, there's all of these different things that support those allegations. And yet, this part of the story is still swept under the rug. Like, they are literally about to release the last Conjuring movie, and nobody has yet touched base on this. And that drives me insane. It's frustrating because, like, it's just swept under the rug. Anywho, glorifying their legacy without actually acknowledging that abuse tied to it is extremely irresponsible, especially when you're claiming to respect the paranormal field. Like, you can't separate the good ghost stories from the harm they caused, and if you're going to step into, you have to be ready to carry the burden of that. You have to be ready to pick up on those energies. You have to be ready to confront those things. And it's not something that's comfortable. It's not something that's pleasant to be around. Because it's not just spirits that stay attached to a space, it's energy too. And you have to consider the things that Ed was doing to this woman. This young girl, she was a young girl at first, and she was there for years. So it's frustrating. I think the investigators who are going to be booking the Ed and Lorraine Warren house have to carry that. I think they need to take responsibility for what they are putting their money into and understand that they are monetizing in the wrong way. This is not, it's not ethical at all. With that being said, Matt Rife, he is a comedian, and he is a public figure with millions of followers, and whether he intended it or not, him purchasing the Warren house puts him in the spotlight as somebody endorsing their legacy. It's frustrating because paranormal investigators, even just hobbyists like myself, we have a responsibility to do our research and actually uplift ethical storytelling and not perpetuate lies and pain. We are not supposed to be monetizing off of somebody's trauma. That is not what we are here for. We're supposed to be sharing the stories of these spirits and helping others learn about that. Buying that house, knowing the fact that there is going to be controversy behind it, and turning it into content. Or even just a flex, like he could have been like, oh, hey guys, I bought the Conjuring house. No matter what it is, I don't care. It's not neutral. It makes a statement. It says that he values the spooky story over the real harm that came from it. And it's not just irresponsible, it's really dangerous. Like, he is putting himself in a space that he should not be in. And he's not listening to the actual people who have gone into these spaces and told him that's not a good idea. Anywho, if he wants to continue to be a part of the paranormal community as he has, he needs to like just come through and engage with this stuff honestly at this point. Not through essentially glorifying abusers and frauds. Um, he needs to be honest about all of this shit. All of it. And I don't know. Anyways, this isn't about gatekeeping. It's more about accountability, because if we keep turning harm into entertainment, we're no better than the ones who literally built their fame doing that. Respect the spirits, respect the truth, and respect the people who are still living with these consequences, because it doesn't just hurt one person, it hurts a bunch of people. And you're letting Matt Rife, you probably will never see this because I'm pretty sure I have you blocked, but no shade. I'm just not a fan, and blocking is so much easier than just skipping past videos. But at the end of the day, you do have a responsibility, as well as Alton. Alton also has a responsibility. I don't know shit about him, so I'm not going to speak on that because I need to do more research. You guys should not be allowing people into this home. Point blank, that home needs to be left alone. That home needs to just sit there and be left the motherfuck alone. I understand that there are other locations but that do this stuff, but like, come on, you're inviting people into the gates of hell basically. There are other locations in the world that have shut down access to investigators because of how dangerous it is. And you're choosing to do this. That's something you gotta live with. And if those spirits decide that there will be consequences to those actions, I'm sorry. Kind of. Anyways, this is Tells Tarot and Spirits. And I'm gonna stop now. If you have anything to say about this, please comment below. I am so interested to hear other people's perspectives. I'm not happy, and I'm sure other people are not happy, so let's talk about it. Alright, bye.